Yo, welcome here. Very excited. Today, we're going to listen to a band from Chicago named Tortoise. What do you know about Tortoise, Mr. Frankie?
Absolutely nothing.
That's what we like to hear. And we're going to listen to selections from the TNT album. And then we will split this up.
This will be a part one
Yep.
because the album's too long to do in one video. So
And something I got to say about Tortoise, they're one of the bands that mixes a big, diverse selection of musical genres together and actually makes it work.
cool.
Yeah,
All right.
it's very cool. And anything from jazz to electronic to soundtrack to folk music,
Okay.
and they make it work really well.
All right.
So let's see how to get a bunch of styles that shouldn't relate in any way, but somehow it comes out beautifully. We ready?
Yes.
All right. This is good.
Cool. Yeah. My head went immediately to real swing stuff with the drum sound. But now I'm it seems more ambiguous now that we've got a little bit of a fuller picture here.
All right, good. That's a good place to be.
You have a really interesting mix of kind of intensity here between the two instruments. I'm interested in how this is gonna. I'm interested in how this is gonna kind of come to fruition here because we have these drums which are mixed really intensely, right? And you have this almost homey style guitar, right? And these are things that you would think usually mix. And I don't know if they're necessarily I don't think they have to be agreeing right now, but I'm not getting the sense that they are, and I'm interested to see where that goes.
That's a nice way to see, yeah, for this type of world that they're building. Well, let me ask you, do you have any idea or anything in your head where you think it might go? Like, are they gonna build up? Are they gonna stop? Or I mean, where do you think this is leading to?
I don't know. So I must admit, I think I've heard a bit of this song somewhere before.
Mm.
Now, not enough to where I would be able to, that I don't think it's gonna guide my reaction here, but
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm really it seems very ambiguous right now because the way you were talking about before, it seems I was picturing maybe mainly this kind of music baked in this jazz style, but that's not what I have felt so far, right?
Cool.
So it's really interesting for me. I think I'll have a clearer picture of where it could go if more instruments come in.
Okay.
I'm not
yeah.
sure that they will, right?
Huh.
But I'd like to kind of get one more piece
Yeah.
before I'm like, okay, maybe this is where it'll go.
And yeah, and that's what we want to do. And I just want to comment on what the type of layers we have going on here. It always reminded me of drum and bass at the time too.
Yeah,
When
okay.
this came out, um, where with the drum and bass style of music, you would have very busy drums. Like extremely busy,
Right,
and
yeah.
then baked on top of that would be sustained like clouds of
Cool.
chords,
Yeah,
ambience.
I like that description because that seems to be where they're going, especially
Mm,
with the production of it too.
mm,
The
mm.
drums are super um boomy,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you know,
Uh,
I don't want to say that I'm not going to try and make decisions for what they were thinking, but it seems in which, you know, the way they were going, there's no doubt about the fact that they want these drums to be loud and really present,
mm,
really
mm,
resonant in the mix. And
mm,
then you have this like really clean and like you said, kind of like cloud like guitar over top of it.
yeah, yeah. All right. Well, let's continue.
I think we're starting to agree a little bit more.
Okay.
And maybe it could just be the layers that we're adding, right? Okay.
Oh, that release.
And I love how they're not afraid to play with the dissonance.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
they're going from a very nice major 7/5 to that diminished sound. Um, yeah.
No, I love this shift here. The wash. I love the delay artifacts there.
This is interesting. It's like we've done kind of a flip of
Yeah.
what we had before. Obviously, the production on the drums is still there.
Yeah.
It's still got that, thickness to it, but the actual, the actual, you know, drums that he's hitting,
Mm.
we've just made it a lot smaller, and then we have this just kind of like soup of guitar effects or whatever they're doing on
Uh-huh.
top of it, and it's really interesting.
Mm.
I like that flip maybe
The flip,
is a word that could be describing
the
that, but
tortoise flip.
yeah, really really interesting.
Mm,
Um, and I like how they are kind of letting one idea develop naturally, right?
mm, mm, mm,
That's something that I've been thinking about
mm,
recently, like how to get the most out of, your composition seed, you know?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And when, what is the right amount of exploration for them?
Mm,
Not that there's a right answer, but
yeah, yeah.
I like it because we started out, you know, with this kind of riff. And then we explored, kind of where it went on this just kind of drone of the tonic or whatever you want to analyze it as. And then
Mm,
we're exploring different places with,
mm, mm,
um, they're going to different modes. And I think it's cool. It's like we're
mm,
almost
mm.
unlocking colors as the
Oh.
song goes on.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's a really interesting thought
Mm,
as to how to develop an idea. It's just
mm-hmm.
one way to do it, but I really like the idea of like, using different colors as things to be unlocked, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Um,
Mm. Well,
yeah.
this this is almost a completely different way of listening if you relate it to something like let's just say like standard or traditional jazz. You
Right.
know, where
Mhm.
jazz, in the kind I'm talking about has chords moving very quickly.
Yeah.
Key centers changing fairly quickly.
Yeah.
And you're always your ear catches that and is it builds up the habit of hearing these changes constantly happening and
Mhm.
hearing the improvisers blowing on top of it and changing with it.
Yeah.
And that's also kind of part of the it's part of the appreciation is the mastery involved, of that kind of jazz. Whereas here, it's appreciation of the atmosphere. I think something that's not moving so quickly, something
Mhm.
that sticks with you for a while, and I think something that also helps appreciate this is, of course, as an album, this is great, and there's so many different ways to listen to music like this. But also, if you imagine live, I'm in a live setting with music like this happening, it just creates such a vibe.
Mm.
It's conceptual in a way. It's creating this vibe that you are experiencing live.
Yeah.
Which is something I think. Well, it's almost the opposite of what a lot of certain kinds of jazz does.
I agree, and this is something that I've thought recently, like just playing jazz and, being around jazz and
Mm,
um me and my buddy recently put on a show
mm,
um where we had two sets, and one was a more traditional jazz set and the other set was a little bit more composed music, and
mm,
it was interesting the shift between the two. And I think at least comparing the first set where we did more jazz to what we're listening to now, you know um
the second set was more like modern type of stuff.
I
You'd
mean,
say.
I'm not even thinking about comparing first and second sets in the
Oh,
show,
okay.
but just rather the first set of jazz that we did to the album that we're listening to, and if I were to
Ah,
experience it in a live setting, right?
mm, mm,
Just because drawing off my like experiences,
mm,
putting jazz in a concert setting,
mm,
I think puts a lot of emphasis on the players,
well, yeah.
right? But what this is so amazing is it
Mm,
puts an emphasis on the experience.
mm,
And not that
well
one is
said.
better than the other, but
Yeah, yeah.
it's that sometimes it's refreshing to
Mm,
have emphasis on the experience.
yep, yep.
Um, and I think doing a lot of jazz and really being steeped in that, and where I am right now in my musical journey, it's really refreshing to step out of that mindset, right?
Mm, yeah.
So I really appreciate the atmosphere that this is creating.
I think that's why a lot of people relate Tortoise to soundtrack music, whereas they are heavily influenced through film composers and soundtracks.
Mm,
Um, they also they deliver what you're talking about. It's the atmosphere, which
right,
soundtracks they need to work off of atmosphere a lot,
right.
for what they do.
Yeah.
Um, and and it's a lot harder than not like it matters, but it's a lot harder than most people would think,
Sure.
because Tortoise has played in jazz festivals and stuff, and I've
Yeah.
heard the critique against them through people going to these jazz fests and why
Sure.
they shouldn't be there, and um, well, it's completely ridiculous to me, but let's
Yeah.
continue on with what's happening here. Let's
Hmm.
go back just a little bit.
Cool.
I love the voices in the back.
Yeah. That's great.
Are they more jazz now? Because the horns came in. Did they get the jazz stamp of approval?
Yeah, that makes them jazz. But I think, in all honesty, that's a very nice color to add.
Oh yeah. And it comes in perfect timing, I think. Not
Yeah.
right away. It makes you wait for it.
Yeah. Kind of revisiting the beginning of the tune here.
Yeah, a little bit.
Great.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, imagine if the song started with the horns. I think that
Yeah.
the whole experience would be a lot different, and I think they made the right choice of bringing them.
And
near the end.
I think yeah. And the what they did with the flip there is they gave themselves the opportunity to have that, release, which
yeah.
is so impactful, and
Mhm.
and it was such a great moment,
It was,
and I
yeah.
like the idea, and I don't not sh- this isn't, I have no idea what they were thinking, but I really like the idea that maybe they're unlocking these colors, right?
Mhm.
And then you add the trumpet at the end, and
Mhm.
it seems the idea has been expanded upon, you know,
Mm.
um, in a really successful way.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate what they did in terms of the restraint too. Making sure that everything is coming in at the right time. I think that's really something that is hard to achieve, and I know something that I'm working on. What you know what is the right amount of orchestration and arrangement at the right moment. Because sometimes you do need to have those. So I really liked what they did with that first song.
It's good when you realize, as a composer and arranger, that you don't need all your instruments playing it all the time.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean that
I still need to do that sometimes, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
well, it helps. I mean, again, especially in the live setting, imagine you're seeing this band on stage. You see the horn players, and you have like 5-6 minutes going by, and
It's like what happens.
yeah, and then suddenly they come in. It's just so beautiful,
Yeah.
know, and it really hits.
Mhm.
I mean, that's a crying moment for me live right there.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah. All right. Let's hit the next song and see what else we have here. You know what? let's go in because it is kind of. I like when songs kind of segue. We're gonna come in like near here.
Okay, cool.
Swung from the gutter. Great use of delay throughout this whole album.
Yeah. Yeah, the atmosphere is just incredible.
That filtered. Wow. It'll come in again. Do you hear that? Well,
Yeah.
check the beat, man. And
Yeah, it's really unique. I like them. Wow.
atmosphere. You can hear a lot of the electronic type of influences here.
Yeah, like as you were saying, this is such a unique blend of genre and style, and it's like nothing I've ever heard before.
But it sounds like it should have existed forever, right?
Yes,
You know?
yes, yeah. And I love that soundtrack description. I think that's really baked in this. Oh! I know.
Oh,
I know I stopped it.
what do we got going
This
on?
is okay.
Okay.
Okay, check it out. This has been an ongoing kind of quest of mine for a while now.
All right, that's it.
Sometimes when I've been like in a rehearsal or I've been playing music for a while and it's late at night and I'm driving home, I always think of what do I listen to? Because sometimes I'm not in the mood for like, I'm not in the mood for super not complex listening, but like something that like needs, my focus on say the players.
Okay.
And this one ambient album you recommended me has been like my go-to for those times.
Okay.
But sometimes it's been just a little bit, sometimes I want something in between that. And I love what these guys are doing with the atmosphere. And I think this is going to be my next
Oh, cool.
after rehearsal driving home, listening music.
I know what you mean. Something that doesn't need your full attention, not too busy, a bit calming, but a little bit more than silence.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and I think this is the perfect balance of it. For that purpose, but obviously that is just one purpose for this music. I don't want to.
That's their only purpose. I mean, that's why this whole album's made. Is
just
coming home from rehearsals.
Yeah, right, exactly. No, but
post rehearsal.
But
core.
Yeah. Anyways.
No, I dig it, and I think yeah. Well, I was trying to remember the ambient album you were talking about, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Let's go back a bit. Listen to what's going on in this song. The arrangements, the little motifs,
Okay.
the sounds that come up that are actually part of the whole the sum of the parts.
Yeah.
It's really well put together. This particular piece here.
this place they're putting us in. It's so familiar, but like alien at the same time. I've been here, but it's like maybe I'm in a dream, right?
I think it was rather me who said it or someone else who said it a while back was spaghetti Western music for another planet. You know, I don't know. It made sense at the time.
And this melody is just so like I didn't know I needed to hear this melody, but now I need to hear it.
You see the function of the bass there? How simple it is. But
It reminds me a little bit of Toby Fox's music.
Wait, we missed. I go. That was my fault there.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
The guitar sound. I love that. It's so good.
That's awesome. They're doing with this like really abstract sound mixed with like just the unwaveringness of the bass and drums.
And that's the guitar doing a lot of this stuff. That's just what he does.
With the It almost reminds me of that noise experiment we did a little while ago.
This is literally the idea of an event. Like you have this moment of space,
right.
Fill it up with whatever you want, you know?
Yeah.
Back to the head, man.
I haven't thought about that. I was just thinking about that. This is awesome, and I love what you said there at the end. Go back to the head, because I was just thinking about this, how I feel like, you know, we kind of started this episode out like almost from the contextualization of like jazz, right?
Did we? Okay.
I think so.
I forget. Okay.
More or less, right? Well, what you were talking about how it blends jazz with a bunch of other things.
Okay, yeah.
Right? So, at least for me, and it could be my mental set and where I'm coming from just listening to so much jazz, but I love how it plays with the conventions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because we have this, like, you know, when you think of every jazz jam you've ever gone to, they're always gonna do a song. You know, all of the songs are just the head, improvisation, head.
Well, it depends what kind of jazz.
Well, more or less,
if they're taking the real books out, maybe.
But more or less, that's kind of the tried and true formula, you know, or form. And I like what they've done with this because I feel like it's taking that and really expanding upon it because it's like you have um whatever this motif, this melody in the
Mm,
beginning,
mm,
and then they just go to this like event,
mm,
right?
mm,
And I really like how it's kind of just taking the idea of like improvisation, maybe, and I don't know if this is what they're going for, but
mm,
what I was thinking is like
mm,
um taking the idea of like a solo section and then really just leaving it open,
mm,
and
mm, mm,
putting it in the terms of what you said, an event, and then they come back to that melody. It's really cool how
mm,
and I don't know if they're doing this, but
mm.
at least in my mind, it seems like they're playing with the conventions of jazz here.
That, and also, I mean, of course, and all these players, they can hold their own in even traditional jazz, like you said. But it's just,
Hmm.
I mean, it's eventually you just get out of that and you expand upon it. But you can hear a lot of like the whole minimalist movement, like the Steve Reich type of stuff. You hear and
Hmm.
hear of even how they handle the background and the arranging of their music. And figure this is 1998,
Hmm.
about, I think. Um, and around that time there was a lot of like, for example, Godspeed You Black Emperor, a lot of
Okay, yeah.
music like that coming around that had some similar sensitivities,
Hmm.
um which I think that's more stuff that we should listen to.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of different music coming out at the time that had a similar sensitivity of working in this almost like minimal way that would sometimes escape from the idea of minimalism.
Okay.
um
Yeah.
i'll I'll talk. I'll explain it more when we get to like that kind of what I mean. It's like you have this arrangement that's very steeped in minimalist composition and a mix of like groove and jazz and soundtrack stuff going on at the same time. But then it jumps to something almost more maximalism. Like, it gets pretty heavy and well, it's
Cool.
better to hear it when we because their next album they do that, I think, a lot more. But I'm pretty sure we'll hear some stuff that changes pretty abruptly here.
All right.
Should we move
Yeah,
on to
let's
the?
keep doing it.
Let's keep doing it. This is a perfect example of the more minimal type of stuff and
Hmm.
Edor Marconi type of soundtrack writing. I love the sustain on that, the wobble.
Yeah. I love this so much.
Yeah, man,
I love
same.
this. I've been needing music like this in my life.
Me too.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so curious. I love
Oh,
that.
I love
I
that.
love
Yeah.
that. You're just like a little frog in a giant rainforest, and you just want to explore.
Not a tortoise.
You could be a tortoise. It reminds me of the movie Avatar.
Okay.
The James Cameron. Is that
Yeah,
his
yeah.
name?
Working in layers. Again. what for me, what that reminds me of a lot is some particular um type of music games, like improv games that I've done. Um, One specific one is about it's looping, like looping a riff
Yeah.
over and over. And I think we've even played it before. I'm pretty sure. In fact, there's a video on it. If we go way back on this channel on how to play it, but the idea is one person starts with some kind of repeated something. It could be
Mhm.
anything, really.
Yeah.
It could be a sound, a riff. But they're also encouraged to leave space. Not to fill up the whole time because more people are going to start to come in and then add their repeated thing on top.
Yeah.
And what's really cool is when you got this kind of like polyrhythm type of thing that fits and it works, and it usually does work because you start with just one repeated figure, and
Mhm.
then everyone's listening.
Yeah.
So then the next person comes in, they know where to put it,
Yeah.
and then one by one these pieces come in like a puzzle, um, and this just reminds me so much of that kind of music. Like it's many times when I play that piece, it's just I'm listening to it, as I'm playing it, I'm just thinking, you don't get music like this in any other way. It's just so unique and so beautiful too.
Yeah. For me, when I'm like hearing this music that's working so much off of layers, and
Mm,
specifically with this instrumentation, it's just like,
mm,
for me it just sounds curious, and I love that.
I love
And
that too. Yeah.
I would love
Uh,
for myself to be able to write something that has that kind of curiosity and feeling of like exploration.
mm, mm,
um
mm,
and I don't know why, for me, the loops do it, and the layers do it.
mm.
But yeah, it's great. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. It's
No notes.
the 10-day interval. Gotta dig this type of stuff too.
Yeah.
Set my face to the hillside. Such a beautiful piece. Boat string in the back, you hear that? You hear it.
I'm like liking every song more than the last one. It's just so great.
This one hits, man.
Yeah, like I said last time, I didn't know that I needed this music in my life. It's almost like small shades of Henry Mancini.
Yeah. Ennio Morricone coded for sure.
Yeah. use of color.
Yeah, you said it.
They're just like putting those two chords on top of each other.
Okay, for YouTube reasons, gotta eventually stop it, unfortunately. But that's good. It gives us reason to talk. But man, it's perfection.
Yeah.
Every note, every noise, every instrument's in there for a reason. There's nothing wasted.
Yeah.
The curiosity's there, like you talked about. You know, it's it's gentle, like but it's like if gentleness had balls to it, like because the details are there,
Yeah.
the small little sounds that I think help make you curious, that's all there, and you want to kind of search for them with your ear, but at the same time it has this like just this great groove, that's behind it all.
Yeah, I'm blown away by this. I don't know what there is to say besides it's just perfect. It's so good. The first part and now the second part.
Yeah.
But I mean, in the first part, it's just this like lullaby, folk song,
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
you want to
With the
call it,
harmonica.
and it just it's just flawless.
Mm.
There's nothing. It's just incredible. This has made me. This has inspired me to like. I would love to do my own take on whatever they're trying to capture here and see how to put it in a live setting.
What would that be? Like how what do you mean, like a take on what they're doing here? How could that be described?
I just like I think for me it's like the feeling that I'm getting from it,
Okay. All right.
you
Well
know,
said. Yeah.
right? Because like maybe you could there's a lot of approaches on like maybe how this music is, but like
Mm.
they're only gonna know how what this
Mhm.
music
Mm.
why this music was written, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't, I'm not gonna try and approach on like what they're trying to do,
Yeah. Yeah.
but for me, I know how this makes me feel,
Mm.
and I know that I want to see if I can write that feeling for myself in my own way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then but especially put it in a live setting,
Mm. Mm.
right?
Mm.
Um, I think that's the king of whatever.
It's well the the whatever king. But it's putting this kind of music together like this. Of course, it's the first time you're hearing it,
Yeah.
and then when you go back and it's a little bit more familiar, but it's it's so graceful, this music,
Yeah.
it's what we were talking about, there's shock value in certain things,
Mhm.
shock value just for shock value that might come out unintended,
Mhm.
shock value because something's so different and maybe abrasive in
Sure.
ideas, but this is nothing like that. This is so different and so unique, but in a
Yeah.
very graceful way.
Yeah.
It's not trying to push you over, it's
Right.
trying to warm you up in a very unique in its own way,
Yeah. Yeah, for me this is like I don't know. It's like you're on the bottom of a hill and you just
Mm.
see like I don't know, you just see this light at the top of a hill. Maybe it's like this mythical creature that you don't know,
Uh-huh.
and it's just doing its thing and it just makes you feel a certain way,
Mm,
you
mm.
know?
Yeah, yeah.
And you're not going to try and catch it. You're not going to try and do anything except just like you know, be in its presence.
Like nature.
Yeah.
It's well. Let's continue to get more blown away. But what should we do? Like one more track going in here, and
I
then well,
do you
whatever.
want to? I was gonna end it off here, and then we continue next time.
Okay. All right. So let's have it go.
I just this is I feel this is a good ending.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I was gonna say I can't wait to hear what comes next, but then we'll have time for that.
We
Know.
could
I
and
mean,
that and we could even that could be a
yeah.
shooting off point for the next episode, right?
You're just not gonna listen anymore between now and then, right?
I'll probably repeat these
These
these songs.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
Right.
but I won't. I'll make sure not to.
Make sure he. That sneaky little guitar sliver. I love that. It just makes it
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
What's your favorite sound here, Mr. Frankie?
I don't know. I was just gonna say the instrumentation is just so beautiful because you have all of these like creamy, just nicely kind of orchestrated pads, and then you have, you know, the this pluck of the marimba and glockenspiel, and it's just such a nice balance.
Yeah.
I'll say the marimba though, just because.
Okay.
But that what'd you say, the slithering guitar?
I think so.
That's pretty good.
And suddenly,
Yeah.
oh,
And we're back on the hillside. You know, we just woke up. Yeah. Come on. Come on now. That is such an amazing piece of music. I love that so much. I don't know what it means, but
That's
you know, it's awesome. I love how they brought in the voices at the end. For me, it's just like, you know, you're laying on a hillside and you're just you know, the people around, you know, your surroundings start to fade, and then you maybe, you know, fall asleep or something, and you just go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's such a graceful, like we said, return to where we were before. Yes,
It's
I like it. It's good.
one thing else about Tortoise and what they do. It's this might sound weird, but sorry, you know, it's almost like ADHD music, but on meds.
Okay.
Meaning, there's a lot of changes, a lot of different sounds and noises will pop up that weren't there before, and then
Right, okay.
disappear. And there's so much going on, but
Right.
it doesn't sound that way.
Yes.
It still sounds very laid back and relaxed. You don't feel bombarded with information, even though in a way you kind of are.
Sure,
You know, but it's
yeah.
just done in such a relaxed, graceful way.
Yeah.
You know, you really can't get bored with it. Like for a while, this, you know, you might have a repeated thing going on. Like the first tune on this album, it goes on for a bit, but then it changes suddenly, and then
Right.
you're just like, wait a minute, like what you were saying, you're just like, wait, the drums are now changing, it's flipping, you know?
Right, yeah. And they make the repetition so, you know, like everything is so purposeful. You know, it doesn't have a time to get boring because they make sure that it isn't repetition for the sake of repetition, but rather, you know, the repetition for the sake of it being legitimate.
Yeah, yeah, and like very stream of conscious, you know,
Yeah.
type of thing. Sedated ADHD. That's what I was trying to say.
Sedated ADHD. That's
music.
cool. That's cool.
Um,
Yeah.
but what would you now describe? I think after a few
Sure.
songs, you might get a bit of a peek into their sound, their world. How would you describe that rather than, you know, it was awesome, I love it, you know? all
Yeah,
those-
I think this is for me, and I have to, and I was thinking about this, like what is, because we were talking about like jazz being very much emphasized on the performer, and what does that mean for the function of the music and the listener, right? And I feel like this is so much baked into the atmosphere and the ambience, and I'm not, you know, not necessarily ambience being slow moving, but just like the ambience really meaning atmosphere.
Yeah, yeah.
And what does that mean as the function of the music for the listener?
Mm,
And
mm,
for me, I feel like this music, for me, its function was, because I don't know what its function is in their mind, and I
mm.
never will. But for me, this function, it 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 allows you to, go on this journey, whatever it
Mm,
means to you,
mm,
and
mm,
not that other music doesn't, but that it just does it in such a, um, it has such an inviting way of doing that. You know what I'm
mm,
saying?
mm. Oh yeah, yeah.
Um, while I think always being very relaxed
Mm,
and
mm,
very graceful. You know what I'm
mm,
saying?
mm,
I feel like I just came across Tortoise's path, and it
oh,
allows anybody who wants to just kind of take a sneak peek, you know what I'm saying? Or
mm,
just come along however long you want, but
mm, mm.
it allows you to join it and leave freely.
Oh,
You
well, and leave
know,
freely. That's a good
um,
way of putting it.
it is
Mm.
just there, and you decide when you want to, you know, listen to it.
Whereas some music, you feel like you can't leave freely. It's like got to
Sure.
wait until the end of the song, or
Right.
or the end of the concert or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. What did you say when we were listening to Dark Star? Like, or whatever the thing is, like the Dark Star is always open. It's just
oh
when
yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever it is.
It's always playing. It's just the
Right.
Grateful Dead will open up the door sometimes to let the sound out.
For me, I feel like this music
Mm.
is an entity just traveling,
Oh,
and
oh,
you decide when you want to be in its company.
that's nice. Yeah,
And I think there's
mm,
something so beautiful about that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
At least that's what it was for me.
Well, that's a good way of putting it, and that's good that you can feel that way. Because for some reason we keep relating it to jazz. But I think one good relation is some people tend to enjoy jazz. Not all people, some people that definitely tend to enjoy jazz as almost like Olympic athlete spectators.
Yes.
People love to watch the Olympics because you're watching the best athletes in the world compete, and you're watching humans do things that most humans can't do.
Mm.
And I know a lot of people who love jazz. It's the same way. They love to watch jazz musicians perform, doing things that most humans can't do on their instrument.
Yeah.
When you have, when you get, the jazz like Coltrane and
Sure.
Charlie Parker and stuff like that. They were doing amazing, unheard of things on their instruments.
Yeah.
And that's what drew a lot of people to
Mhm.
to listen and watch this type of music.
Right.
Whereas this type of music, I would feel is almost the opposite of that.
For me, and I love that you said this, like you said, you're watching it to watch the Olympian. I feel like this music makes you the Olympian.
Oh,
You know what I'm
wow.
saying?
Well, now I feel.
But I think in some way, and Olympian, and make that however you want it. But I think this music is, it puts the emphasis on your thinking,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and it says, hey, you're the storyteller. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
What is this to you?
I love that.
And I think it's such a powerful thing when music can do that.
Yeah.
And I think generally from a composition standpoint, like, you know, and this is my word of the year, but um
Um,
I think it can be such an egoless thing when
makes sense.
music can do that. And again, they could be thinking that this music is all for them. So I don't know, but that's just my
No,
interpretation
but
of
that's
the
how.
music,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But I think it is just such a commendable
Mm,
effort,
mm.
to have a music that really puts you at the forefront.
Oh,
You know,
that's great. Yeah,
um,
yeah.
that's my thought.
I like that. I do like music that puts other people in the forefront rather than the performers.
Yeah,
And that's been tried and pushed. Probably since, I mean, forever.
yeah, probably.
Folk music, church music, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool that we still continue that tradition.
Hmm.
So, all right, cool. I really can't wait to hear more of this album with
Yes.
Frankie. Yeah, I mean, if you know this album, you know that he's in for a ride. I mean, we're just
Oh
getting
man.
started, man. I
Oh
mean,
man.
seriously. So we'll
Yes.
get to it. Mr. Frankie has graduated high school, by the
Oh
way. So
wow.
he is
Holy
out.
crap.
He is out. That's why
Yeah,
also we haven't been able to put up a lot of videos because
because I had to do graduation stuff.
he was graduating for 1 month, like for 1 month the whole
Exactly.
time. It's just one long
It was
graduation
so many
standing,
people. The ceremony took 1 month long. Can you believe that? Oh my God.
and
It
he made
was,
a speech that took another month too. So.
but but hopefully we're back for a little bit now, and I'm
Mm,
excited to be listening to this music and not have to worry about finals and
mm.
things like that, and I can worry about setting my face on the hillside. But yeah, as always, do the like, do the comment, do the subscribe, and this time the bell. I need you to do something.
Oh.
Find uh your nearest like grassy kind of field, right? The grass needs to be tall, right? It needs to be almost as
Mm,
tall as you, right?
mm.
And start running.
Oh,
You know what
that's
I'm
tough.
saying? Start running.
Oh,
You could frolic, you could do
oh.
whatever, but start running.
Mm.
And you'll notice as you run, the grass becomes a little taller and you can't necessarily see where you're going, but the objective remains constant. You have to run through this grass, and maybe while you're running you find you start to lose your footing and you start to slip through the earth, right?
Oh.
When that happens, you
Yeah.
might fall through the ground and be in this completely different space entirely,
Mm,
right?
mm,
When you're here, it might be new, it might be magical, but
mm.
one thing is in this place, and that is the
The
bell.
bell.
So swim for it, run for it, fly for it, right? Wherever you have to do, but enjoy your time there, um, because it's a special place, and ring the bell for us while you're there. But let us know your adventures, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Aye, aye, Captain.